Hello Aries, here's your weekly horoscope for January 10 to 16. Well, as we saw last week, the Mars moving out of your sign of Aries and into Taurus created some issues, it seems, with the insurrection in the USA. We can't blame it on Aries anymore. When Mars moved into Taurus, it immediately squared the planet Saturn, and then also this week is now squaring Jupiter all week. So that's a bit of a dicey aspect with your ruling planet. First of all, with Mars square Saturn, oh boy, did we ever see confrontation and conflict last week. And unfortunately, this aspect continues this week, so keep your head covered. But with Mars squaring Jupiter as well this week, it also tends to blow things out of proportion. So as I'm recording this, it seems that things have quieted down, but I'm not so certain of that as this week wears on and these squares become, closer in aspect. We'll say they tend to be a bit stronger in their influence. So in general, with Mars square Jupiter, we rarely have enough time in the day to get everything done, and that is typical for you. You tend to bite off more than you can chew anyhow, so your ruling planet Mars squaring Jupiter is creating more of an issue with that this week. Unfortunately, you're not a sign that likes to be frustrated, and with Mars squaring the Saturn, we do have frustrations and delays and problems and confrontations with that aspect, and you're always ready for a fight and a confrontation, but it may not always be good for you to be getting in fights and confrontations, Aries. There can be other ways to resolve situations, and I think that we all saw how violence last week doesn't really solve any kind of a situation, especially when the violence is as a result of someone's dishonesty. With the Sun conjunct Pluto in Capricorn this week, it does bring up control issues for some people, and as I said, your sign is not one to be controlled or pushed around by anybody. So with this aspect occurring in your 10th house of work and career and coming before the public, you want to avoid confrontations and conflicts at work if you can help it. And you also want to make sure when you're out in public, don't get involved in disputes if you can help it, Aries. Unfortunately, this aspect does create for the potential for violence or other types of fighting and situations, and you could be harmed. Now, with Venus in Capricorn, it's in the same house for you. It does tend to indicate a time when you might have more interactions with friends, more friendly interactions in general as well, but especially with people at work. And as well, your work for some reason may get more creative in this week with Venus there too. It does help soften things a little bit, but it's not really tangling up with the Sun-Pluto conjunction, but it is there. In fact, Venus is trining your natal planet, ruling planet Mars, pretty much all week. So that's a good thing. Even though it's in Earth signs, it is a good thing because the Venus-Mars trine does tend to make people want to dance more than they want to fight. They want to sing more than they want to argue. So if you get my drift, you'll see that this is a better week for indulging in arts and creativity, and as much as you can, given restrictions, fun pastimes with friends. You want to avoid conflict and confrontation this week, Aries, for sure. With Uranus making a stationary making a station in Taurus and then moving direct, we'll find that the unexpected will be a lot less unexpected as time wears on. A Uranus retrograde really can blow that part of life out of proportion, the unexpected I mean. So with it moving direct, hopefully things will calm down a bit. With Chiron in your own sign of Aries and now moving direct, that's a good thing because Chiron is called the wounded healer in astrology because it does lend itself to uncovering deep-seated wounds that need to be healed. Very often we carry wounds with us for the rest of our lives. Sometimes people may have a chronic health condition even, there's not too much they can do about it. But at least with Chiron moving forward and hopefully beginning to make some more positive aspects, it is sextile Jupiter most of this week. If you needed any healing in relationships, your personal body, yourself, your work, your home, this is a good week to try to heal any of those things because Chiron and Jupiter are very friendly to one another. And Chiron is in Aries. Overall, it's a bit of a mixed bag this week. A little bit of trouble in the first few days of the week. By the end of the week, things should probably be a lot better for most signs anyhow, including yours. I hope you have a good week ahead, Aries.